Story about Saint Teresa of Calcutta. Popularly known as Mother Teresa. Saint Teresa of Calcutta, the difficult, beautiful truth behind a global icon. Introduction. Who is Saint Teresa of Calcutta? In a world that scrolls past suffering, one woman chose to stop and stay. Saint Teresa of Calcutta, known by many people as Mother Teresa, Nobel Peace Prize laureate, founder of the Missionaries of Charity, and one of the most recognized faces of compassion in the 20th century. But how did an Albanian girl from Skopje become a saint celebrated across the globe, and why do debates about her work still spark today? Let's explore the mercy, the miracles, the criticisms, and her legacy so you can know who she really is. Stay with me till the end, because we're going to walk through Mother Teresa's early life and her famous call within a call, the creation of the Missionaries of Charity, the global expansion of her work, her Nobel Peace Prize, her dark night of the soul, the miracles behind her canonization, and yes, the criticisms and controversies. Early life. She was born Anjezë Gonxhe Bojaxhiu on August 26, 1910, in Skopje, then part of the Ottoman Empire, today the capital of North Macedonia. Her family was Albanian and Catholic, and from a young age she learned that faith was not just belief, it was action. By age 12, she felt a strong pull toward religious life. At age 18, she left home to join the Sisters of Loreto, an Irish congregation with missions in India. Within months she sailed for Kolkata, then called Calcutta, trading the familiar for the unknown. A call within a call. In India, she took the name Sister Mary Teresa and later became Mother Teresa. She taught at St. Mary's School in Kolkata for nearly 2 decades, known for her discipline, humor, and fierce love for students. But in 1946, during a train ride to Darjeeling for retreat, something happened that would change everything. She described it later as a call within a call, a deep, undeniable conviction that God was asking her to leave the convent school and live among the poorest of the poor. That moment became the engine of her life's mission. Founding the Missionaries of Charity. Obedience matters in religious life. It took nearly 2 years for permissions, from her superiors and the church, to formalize what she believed God asked of her. In 1948, she stepped out of the cloister in a white sari with blue borders, the now iconic habit she chose to identify with the people she would serve. She trained briefly in nursing basics, then went to the slums, to listen, to learn, to love. By 1950, the Missionaries of Charity was officially founded in Kolkata. Its purpose was simple and radical. To care for the hungry, the naked, the homeless, the crippled, the blind, the lepers, all those people who feel unwanted, unloved, uncared for throughout society. The congregation would see Christ in the poor and serve him with wholehearted free service. Over time, the order expanded rapidly, first across India, then worldwide. In 1965, the community became a pontifical institute, directly under the Holy See, enabling international growth. Nirmal Hriday, the home for the dying. One of the most famous houses she opened was Nirmal Hriday, the Kaligat home for the dying, in 1952, near the Kaligat temple. The goal wasn't curative medicine, it was dignity. People brought from the streets received basic care, pain relief as available, and companionship so they would not die alone or forgotten. Mother Teresa often said, "A beautiful death is for people who lived like animals to die like angels, loved and wanted." Recognition and the Nobel Peace Prize. By the late 1960s and 1970s, the world noticed. Volunteers came from everywhere, donations poured in. In 1979, she received the Nobel Peace Prize for her work for bringing help to suffering humanity. She accepted not for herself, she said, but on behalf of the poor. Her insistence on the sanctity of every human life, from the unborn to the abandoned, resonated deeply. Decades later, at her canonization Mass on September 4, 2016, Pope Francis called her a generous dispenser of divine mercy. The timing, during the Jubilee of Mercy, felt fitting to many. The dark night of the soul. After her death on September 5, 1997, a startling revelation emerged. In letters compiled in Come Be My Light, Mother Teresa described decades of spiritual darkness, a painfully felt absence of God. Publicly she smiled, privately she wrestled with silence, dryness, and doubt. For some, the letters shattered a simple saintly image. For others, they revealed something deeper, that sanctity is often forged in hidden fidelity. Her perseverance in the dark may be one of her greatest witnesses. Miracles and canonization. In the Catholic Church, canonization requires verified miracles attributed to the person's intercession after death. The first recognized miracle involved the healing of Monica Besra in 1998 in India, linked to her beatification in 2003. The second, approved in 2015, concerned a Brazilian man cured of multiple brain abscesses in 2008 after prayers seeking her intercession, paving the way for her canonization in 2016. Criticisms and controversies. Mother Teresa's reputation for holiness did not shield her from criticism, some fair to consider, some hotly disputed. Quality of medical care. Some observers called the care in Nirmal Hriday haphazard, citing limited medical tools and few doctors. Defenders replied, these were hospices, not hospitals, focused on presence and dignity. Theology of suffering. Critics argued she glorified suffering. Others countered she emphasized accompanying people, not idealizing pain. Money and transparency. Some questioned the handling of donations. Supporters answered that the Missionaries of Charity deliberately lived poorly and focused funds on direct service. Baptizing the dying. Reports claimed forced baptisms. Other accounts suggest Hindus were given Ganges water, Muslims heard the Quran, and Catholics received last rites, showing respect for each person's faith. What's undeniable is this: the larger the symbol, the louder the debate. And yet, through it all, the homes remained open, the sisters kept serving, and the poor still came. Legacy of the Missionaries of Charity. The Missionaries of Charity became a global network, sisters, brothers, priests, and lay collaborators serving in orphanages, leprosy centers, schools, soup kitchens, shelters for battered women, homes for the dying. To understand the impact, don't just look at totals, look at one face. One person given a bed after weeks on the street. One leprosy patient treated with tenderness. One child fed. One dying man who was not alone. Whether or not the world saw a miracle, they often did, love made visible. Lessons from her life. If you're looking for a tidy saint, you won't find one. Real holiness is not tidy. It's costly, complicated, and often misunderstood. Here are simple takeaways from her life. Start small. She began with one person on one street. Who's your one? See with new eyes. The poor aren't a problem, they're people to love. Be consistent. Her greatest miracle might have been showing up every day. Hold tension honestly. Service is messy. Accept feedback. Keep learning. Let love be concrete. Love is a verb, time, presence, food, or a phone call. Canonization and final message. On September 4, 2016, in front of a vast crowd in St. Peter's Square, Pope Francis declared her a saint, Saint Teresa of Calcutta. The ceremony sealed what millions already believed: that a life poured out in love, even amid controversy and darkness, can light a path for the rest of us. Saint Teresa once said, "Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love." Whether you see a saint, a social worker, or a symbol, her story dares us to love more, complain less, and never walk past the person in front of us. Call for action. If this helped you see the bigger picture, like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share with your family and friends. May you remain blessed. Folded hands, Amen.